We're doing something big next week. It's aggressive and a little risky, but it's worth it. We're doing our spring fundraiser in just 1 week instead of the usual 2. That's why today is so important. The people who give early, the early birds, are crucial. This is where you come in right now. Give a monthly sustaining donation. You choose how much, and you'll be entered into the early bird drawing to win a $1,000 gift card, $1,000, just for paying for the radio journalism you trust, the music you love, the community connections that are irreplaceable on NCPR. Some politicians want to take away our funding. You've probably heard that. So the biggest thing you can do to fight that is to give. Now, go to ncpr.org/give. And thank you so much. This is a really important moment for public radio. Okay, on to the show, which takes us to the quaint village of Croghan to remember a family-owned diner. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Clarkson University, offering over 95 programs of study with campuses in the Hudson Valley, Central, and Northern New York. More at clarkson.edu.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Friday, April 11th. First up, Governor Kathy Hochul is considering closing up to 5 more state prisons. The proposal was a late addition to her budget plan, which she released earlier this year. State Budget Director Blake Washington says the plan is meant to alleviate chronic staffing shortages in the prison system.
The thought is, under the 30-day amendment, is that you have to just shrink the footprint a bit.
Washington says 2 main factors will determine which prisons close: if it has aging facilities and if it can attract new workers. The proposal is still under consideration as a part of overall budget negotiations. The St. Lawrence County Democrat who'd planned to run in an anticipated special election for New York's 21st congressional district is actively campaigning around the region. Karen Chapman reports.
Lisbon dairy farmer Blake Gendebien says he raised more than $3 million in the first quarter of 2025. He's also holding a series of town halls around the North Country. That included a stop at the Strand Theater in Plattsburgh Tuesday. Gendebien was asked how a Democrat could win a traditionally Republican-held district.
I am very close to the middle, and I'm not going to apologize for being a moderate leader. I'm not going to apologize for wanting to work on things that we can actually get done. And that's the secret to winning rural America back.
North Country Democratic county chairs selected Gendebien as their preferred candidate for a potential special election back in February. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik had been nominated to be the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Her confirmation and resignation would have set off a race to replace her. But last month, President Donald Trump withdrew her nomination, citing a slim GOP majority in the House. There have been reports he's promised her an even bigger role. Gendebien is now setting his sights on next year's midterms, or another possible special election, should Trump call upon Stefanik beforehand.
I do think there's a good chance of her resigning in the middle of summer sometime and then having a special election this fall. Absolutely.
In the meantime, Stefanik has rejoined the House's higher ranks as chair of House Republican leadership. The Congresswoman says the position is focused on strategy, communications, and passing Trump's agenda. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio.
A state Supreme Court justice in Warren County will retire at the end of this year after being censured. According to the Albany Times-Union, Robert Mueller failed to recuse himself from matters that involved attorneys and law firms who fundraised for his re-election campaign. The Commission on Judicial Conduct says Mueller ruled on numerous cases from May to November 2022. A commission spokesperson said that compromises public confidence in the integrity of the courts. Mueller's term expires at the end of 2036. He turns 70 this year, which would require him to seek certification to serve for an additional 2 years. The Times-Union reports he agreed not to do so during the censuring process. This spring, Canton is hosting a new event to teach people how to make simple repairs to things like sewing machines, wood stoves, and guitars. Catherine Wheeler reports their goal is to divert more trash from landfills.
The Canton Sustainability Committee wants to change the way you think about the damaged items around your house.
Instead of having the default mindset of, this is broken, I'm going to throw it away, just changing that a little bit to be, this is broken, maybe I can figure out a way to fix it before I throw it away.
That's Cole Fuller with the Sustainability Committee. He says this is what the first ever repair fair is going to be all about. But first, they need to find volunteers. Fuller says they're looking for a range of people who can demonstrate how to make repairs to items community members bring to the fair. It could be clothing, electronics, bicycles, or more.
We want you to be there to have that conversation with the fixer and kind of see what they're doing. That way, if it maybe breaks the same way, you'll be able to do it yourself.
Fuller says they're also looking for local businesses or fixers to make presentations during the day. Local master gardeners and Cornell Cooperative Extension will be there too. The repair fair will be held at the Canton Pavilion on Saturday, May 3rd. Those interested in volunteering can reach out to the Sustainability Committee. Catherine Wheeler, North Country Public Radio in Canton.
The diner, a staple of small-town American life. Everyone's got a favorite, a go-to order, a booth you always sit in. In today's North Country at Work story, one woman recounts her formative years washing dishes and pouring coffee inside her family's diner. Anna Williams-Bergen has more.
Shiloh Denny grew up in her parents' diner.
It was just a tiny little country diner that you would normally see in any sort of small town.
It was a little red building tucked on the side of the road in Croghan, a little village in the Tug Hill Plateau. Denny's parents bought it when she was 7. They named it the Family Cupboard.
I did not want to work there at the time, but my parents were just like, yeah, no, you need a job. You're going to work here. And I'm like, okay, fine.
As a kid, Denny helped wash dishes in the back. She got working papers as soon as she could at 14 and started waitressing on the weekends.
When I first started, I was basically just helping waitresses on the weekends do dishes for the most part. And then it just evolved into just me waitressing in general.
A big part of the fun for Denny was the bonds she built with her coworkers. She says it felt special as a young teen.
I'm going to have fun with my cool older teenage friends, because they were all 17, 18, which to me was way older.
Like every diner, they had their crowd of regulars.
There would be your regular men that come in, have coffee, you knew exactly what they wanted, you just basically, it's just oh yeah, let me go get that for you, hold on a minute.
Denny says working in the diner gave her a front row seat to a tight-knit community.
There was a couple guys that would always sit at the counter. One of them was actually my great uncle, and they would have the best conversations, and I just thought it was the cutest thing. All the tables of the regular guys, they would just all sit there, all talk about the same stuff every single morning. Very loudly and outspokenly.
Denny spent her weekends through high school taking orders and bussing tables. She says that kind of work ethic is just how she grew up.
I was just raised to, you worked. You're not lazy. You have to work. And I've just carried that into my entire life in general.
Another thing that stuck with her, being really nice to waiters.
My best friend as well, she also worked in a restaurant for a while. So whenever we go out to eat, we are always extra super nice to wait staff and everything. It's just oh, we completely understand. We know.
Denny says her parents eventually got tired of running the diner. They sold it in 2016 when she was a senior in high school.
For the first couple of years, it was definitely a little bit weird because it had just been a part of my life for so long. And then all of a sudden it's just oh no, it's gone.
After the sale, the diner became a Dollar General, one Denny's been into 1 billion times at this point. She says the biggest adjustment was just not seeing all those people anymore. She'd been used to spending so much time with coworkers and their regulars. She says it was great to work in a place with that sense of community, where everybody knew everybody. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work project, I'm Anna Williams-Bergen in Lowville.
Amy Feiereisel also contributed to this story. North Country at Work is a long-running project of NCPR that collects photos and stories about working life in our region. If you have a work story you'd like to share, email us work@ncpr.org. Another reminder, be the backstop for public radio, for truth and journalism and facts that are essential. Give now and get in on the early bird drawing for a $1,000 gift card. ncpr.org/give. Thanks. Music today by I Am Snow Angel of Lake Placid and Danny Thomas of Canton. Have a super duper weekend. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.